o'clock. It is Monday, June the 20th, 2016. This is a special call meeting of the Jasper Independent School District Board of Trustees. All 7 members are present and accounted for, so let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. Delving right off into business, our first business action item will be to consider and, if appropriate, approve employment of principal of Cornell Elementary. Dr. Scusa.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Principal Selection Committee, and we have a list in the packet who was involved in that process, reviewed approximately 25 applications and interviewed 2 candidates on Wednesday, June 8th. And as stated in the packet, we have a list of those individuals. After deliberation, the committee has recommended the Board of Trustees approve Ms. Pam McPhee for the position of principal for Cornell Elementary.
We have a recommendation from administration. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to move that we postpone acting on this until after closed session.
Second. We have a motion by Dr. Van Kamak to postpone until after closed session, seconded by Mr. Tom Weld. All in favor, show of hand. All opposed, like sign, and the motion carries 7-0. Our next item of business will be to consider and, if appropriate, approve appointments. Dr. Scusa.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have several appointments that have been recommended by the principals. We have Bianca Collins, first grade teacher at View; Cindy Gill, 7th grade LA teacher at Jasper Junior High; Marissa Mays, who's currently on staff but has recently finished her certification as a science teacher at Jasper High School; and Jennifer Vitale, art teacher at Jasper High School. Administration recommends you approve the appointments as presented.
We have a recommendation from administration to approve these appointments as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion from Dr. Van Kamak and a second from Mr. Tommy Street. Any discussion, questions, comments? If none, all in favor of the motion to accept these appointments, show of hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Our next item of business will be to consider and, if appropriate, approve technology purchases. Ms. Horton.
In accordance with our district policy, CH Uncle, any single budgeted purchase of goods or services costing $50,000 or more shall require board approval. The technology department has received several quotes that exceed this amount, so we're asking for your approval on this. They're wanting to purchase 100 hard drives, 10 laptops, 25 widescreen monitors, 125 desktop computers, which total $57,989. These funds are currently in the 15-16 budget under the technologies budget, and the bid was obtained through a TIPS tab purchasing cooperative approved vendors, School Tech Supply, under contract number 701-2215.
We have a recommendation before the board from administration for this technology purchase. Do I have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Josh Hadnot, second from Mr. Tommy Street. Any questions, comments, discussion?
Yes, sir. Got a couple of questions. I had sent the board a email in reference to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice that does the refurbishing things, just kind of doing follow-up, and even for a hard drive and the laptop that gets refurbished, which would do the same thing. So is there a reason we cannot go that direction?
I'm not sure, but I know that we try to keep the equipment that we're using pretty much the same, so that we don't take someone to spend a lot of time trying to learn new things. We have parts already on supply in case something happens with them. I know on the desktop monitors, or not the monitors, the desktop, they have lifetime parts warranty, and also the desktops come already imaged per our specifications. refurbished ones that you were talking about, they don't have operating systems, so we have to buy operating systems and have to have someone install that, which basically would be another person.
And if it was already in our budget for 15 to 16, why did we not purchase during the school year?
We have purchased during the school year, they're upgrading some lines. And so this is a big purchase if we're trying to get them before school starts, so we can get that done.
And then the third question is that with technology continually changing and looking at the bids and the difference, I think, in price of leasing and purchasing about $3,500 for 3 years. If you be able to trade that in 3 years, get new equipment, it would be a reason why not to lease instead of purchase on that.
We generally don't and have not leased technology equipment. Doctors, for example, use those for the reasons you discussed.
I was just thinking, I know the way it changes on a continual basis, we would be able, to get new equipment in 3 years, be able to, just my thought would be to lease if we do go this way instead of purchasing.
On our other equipment and stuff, we have a company that comes and fixes it up and they pay us on the parts and stuff, they're able to refurbish.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Any other questions, comments, discussions?
Yeah, I got one. Since I see the Microsoft 7, Windows 7 is in there, everything will be 7, we're not XP anymore, because XP is kind of outdated and hard to work on.
They're either 7s or 10s.
7 or 10.
Any other questions, comments, discussion? If none, we have a recommendation from the administration. We have a motion second to approve the technology purchase as presented. All in favor, show of hands. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 6-1. Our next item will be a report item, resignations and retirements. Dr. Souza.
Thank you, Mr. President. For information, we've got 4 police resignations. We have Ned Barrier, special ed teacher, coach, Jasper High School. B.J. Bunner, PE teacher, coach at Jasper High School. Lucretia McCants, 7th grade math teacher at Jasper Junior High School. And Charles Simmons, assistant principal at Jasper High School.
Thank you, Dr. Souza.
Thank you.
In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code, Chapter 551, more particularly subchapters D and E, specifically 551.074, we have a need to go into executive session. No action will be taken in executive session, and if any action is taken, it will be taken here in open session. Do I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Tom Webb.
Second.
Second by Dr. Boone K-Mac. Time is 12:08. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have 12:52. We are reconvening in open session. We are going to take care of the business action item that was relocated. So that action item was to consider and if appropriate, approve employment of principal of Parnell Elementary. Dr. Scusa?
Thank you, Mr. President. As stated earlier, the committee has recommended Ms. Ann McBee as principal of Parnell Elementary, and that is a recommendation I'm making at this point.
We have a recommendation from administration. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. Tommy Street,
Second.
second from Dr. Van Kamak. Any questions, discussion, comments? All in favor, show of hand. Motion carries 7-0. Our last item of business prior to our budget workshop will be action to take following closed our executive session. Dr. Scusa has submitted a letter of resignation. We'll be retiring. The board has, so we have that matter before us. We have a motion to accept his letter of resignation.
So moved.
Second.
Who made the motion? I didn't hear.
I did.
We have
Who's
a,
second?
we have a
I
motion
did.
from Dr. Van Kamak, a second from Mr. Tom Weld to accept the letter of resignation from Dr. Scusa and the retirement agreement as presented. Any questions, discussion, comment? If none, all in favor, show of hand.
Effective, I
All in
didn't hear,
place.
I don't hear good, Mr. President. Effective when?
January 2017. All in favor, show of hand again. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 6-1. Okay. We will adjourn now our open session. We do have a budget workshop following. It's 12:54. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Josh Hadnot. We're adjourned.